hear us all? Hi. Hi. Look at us. We're all look at all of us.
Look at this.
We've made it. Oh gosh,
Whole
dang it.
gang
It's a
together.
hype train.
Greg, did we coordinate? Is that an aloha
I
shirt?
know. You're wearing an
sure
aloha
is.
shirt. I feel like I'm the only one not wearing an aloha shirt. And also
You didn't get the memo.
my aloha shirt is out of commission. We're just gonna say that. Because yeah, it's
What,
It's not-
Well, you have to tell everyone the story now. That's ridiculous.
Why?
Oh, I mean, it's just that I cooked in it, and now it's got like, because I was making a red sauce. I was making a red sauce, and now it had some spatter. It's in the wash.
Wait,
You-
Gracie,
you're
am I
saying-
super loud?
Is everyone super loud? Am I
My
super
my
loud?
my mod said me unmuted. Holy wow! Am I super loud?
Oh.
Am I loud?
So maybe we're all loud. I just wanted to make sure everyone could hear us. Also, we did this OBS test today for this thing that we're doing next week, and like they were like, "Can you alter all of your OBS settings?" And I was like, "Well, yes. Can you just give me a sec? I need to." Oh my gosh. Okay, everyone's going wild right now. I haven't even. Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for joining and for rating and for being a part of it.
Volume's okay. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
volume's back to being okay. Lady O'Trings, thank you so much for the bits. Bubatan, thank you for the bits. Morinin-san, thank you so much. Sabakukaze, thank you so much for the bits as well. Anubis Borealis, thank you for the bits. And then, oh my gosh, Commissar Yeetus, the Nick 7, Musical Joker, Hinapuff, the Little Hoovian, Kane 42069. I figured it out. Tima 1869, thank you all so much for the follows. Elpida 34, Peta, Snooks and Games, Alleged Chook, G Factor, all y'all. Retrospective, thank you so much for the resubs. Holy crap, everyone, you're so wonderful. Lucario's Meteorite, like, hi. Shackman, Sea Wanderer, Mark's Pea Baked Potato, hello.
Pea baked potato?
Pea Baked Potato is a person.
Yeah,
they are a person and they followed.
Yes, you're a human being.
Yukejang 123, hello. Yukejang is one of my favorite.
1, 2, 3.
That is one of my
That's awesome.
favorite dishes in the world. It is the embodiment of comfort food to me.
Wait,
I don't
Earl,
know
you're
about-
in LA, right, Earl?
I am in LA.
Have you been to the what do you call it? Yukdaejang, not
Yukdaejang? I have been to Yukdaejang. I
is that?
I was so surprised. I was kind of like, I don't know. I feel like I'm just like, all right, it's gonna be all right, I guess. It's a Korean place in in LA. We'll see. And then I was like, oh, it's real good. Yeah, it was definitely, because I feel like it's like Yukdaejang is one of those things where like it's kind of a barometer for me for Korean food. I don't know if you, but like it's like if you do a good Yukdaejang, then you will probably do everything else pretty good. You know what I mean? Like most places, if their like quality of food of other things is good, then you can kind of gauge that it's going to be all right. It's kind of one of those like, I don't know. Does this pizza shop do a pepperoni pizza well?
Yeah, exactly. Can you cook an egg?
Yeah.
Where are you, Greg? Are you in LA or somewhere else?
Yeah, I'm in LA.
Oh, you are.
LA.
I thought you would be like I thought you were just like off in Hawaii or whatever island, whatever vacation island
Yeah,
you're in,
right.
and you just go in your booth, you just make all the monies, and then
I mean,
right.
I believe it. I believe it.
that's the dream. I don't know. Is it?
Yeah,
Is
let's
that the
keep
dream?
making that what people think. That'll make me seem really cool. When in reality, I just rot in LA like everybody else.
Gosh, yeah. Why is that word so appropriate? Rot. Like it's just like rotting in LA. That's what we do here. Like
It's not LA's
sometimes-
fault, honestly. Like everybody all over the world is rotting now. What
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, for sure. So for those of you that don't know, hi everyone that's joined us. Hopefully you're here because you know what's going on. But today, on a very special Final Earl Friday, we've got the rest of the DandE Saga. So we've got Daisuke here, and we are interviewing Mr. GREG CHUN, who plays Tenzo in Ghost of Tsushima. if you don't know, I play Norio in Ghost of Tsushima, and this gentleman right here is Jin Sakai in Ghost of Tsushima, and we're having a little cast hangout because one, Greg, this is my first time actually meeting you. I've watched your streams and stuff, and I've enjoyed your work for a good long time. But hi, and now we're actually getting to like hang out and be people.
That's right. Be human beings
instead of like
once.
Here's like a disembodied voice that you have to somehow connect to, and then make sense out. You're connected. You're acting together.
That's
in
right,
a completely different place, just based off of the power of each other's voices, and we're making magic.
Now, full disclosure though, when I was playing Ghost, like I was the worst to you, Earl.
I know everyone usually is. I feel like Norio gets.
See, so it's hilarious because I'm controlling dice, interacting with Tenzo, and then interacting with you, and basically. It wasn't because of you. It was just that I was busy with something in the story. Whenever you would stop to talk to me, I would stop to talk to you for one sentence, and I'd run away while you were still talking. It was just yeah, exactly.
I'll just sit
I had
here.
something else to do.
I'll just sit here and meditate until Lord Sakai returns.
I know, but then I helped you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Chat, Chuniverse, do you remember? Did I finish helping Norio? Or did I finish him halfway and then blow off the rest of his stuff?
Oh no! Oh dang! Oh dang! Do you know what happens to my brother? Because if you do,
I think you would remember. Yeah,
you would remember. Oh,
if you saw it, you play. If you played it, you remember.
Really?
Oh no! We're getting a Conquest. We're getting a you abandoned for Norio. I can never forgive you for that thing.
No wait, no I didn't. Isn't that the one where I had to go and do the things at the different places? I did that.
Yeah. It's like 3 different places.
Dang.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I think everyone.
Okay,
Chat
everyone should be quiet. Stop talking.
I think your chat just called you out.
No, like the reward was either I want to say ribbons or like banners or hats or what happened?
You get silk.
I did get the silk. I got.
You get. I was gonna be like, they don't call me Silk Daddy for nothing.
They call you Silk Daddy.
Yeah, that was
that is an old joke. That is an old DandE Saga joke from like when we first started streaming. That is a dang throwbacks.
How long have y'all been doing this?
We hit our year anniversary when the game came.
Since the game came out. So
since the game came out.
July
so, yeah,
17th, 18th.
It's been quite.
And how long have you been doing it?
How long have you? Yeah.
I think maybe longer. I think I've been streaming for about a year and a half. I think no.
Okay. What?
I think about a year.
Did you start with Judgment?
Did you
or something else?
I started with what did I start with? I think it was Judgment. My memory's so bad, dude. Like I just.
But was it because you were the voice of the character? And
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, one of my mods, Hina, she's telling me about a year, a little bit over. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. I started with music streams, writing and composing music.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
I
So it's
switched
very
game.
different. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another. Yeah. So because that's what you do. One of the things you do is
Yeah.
music.
And now like I still write music for commercials and TV and stuff like that. I mean, not as much since, voiceover takes up a lot of time, but with the stream, I'm starting to do just piano bar again, which is fun.
Oh, lovely.
I played for like 5 hours with my community the other day. It was so fucking fun. It was awesome.
What is that? You just play music?
He's just
Play piano. Yeah, I got a piano bar list and basically, I used to work
amazing.
in a restaurant, so I just kind of like kick back to those days,
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's one of those skills that I wish I had. But,
See, I feel like when I was learning piano, I only got through the phases where you play all of the songs that you don't like, that no one knows, or it's like, oh, I managed to play Hungarian. Oh, I managed to play for Elise. Those are the ones that I've got that are like, oh yeah, people have heard these ones. Like, oh, do you want to hear this Chopin no? Do you want to hear this Kulau minuet? No. Do you want to hear that? No. None of the Suzuki books have songs that people are like, oh, that one's a banger.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So it was me, and then eventually I was just like, I think I like playing cello and singing better than this. So I'm just gonna do this when you make me, and then I'll do the other thing.
Oh my gosh, Lena says, got to do my. I don't even know how to pronounce it correctly, but that brought back such fucking flashbacks for me.
Oh my god! Yes,
Charity. That word?
Charity.
Charity. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh! I just had a Greg, did we just have like a collective like flashback re-traumatization?
That scarred me big time. It did.
My camera does this sometimes, where it just enacts violence upon me. I don't know why. We've tried to figure out multiple times, like change the lighting, change the background, but it'll occasionally just sort of freak out and say, "I hate you."
I usually put my hand up to it, so it in your ass face. That's not nice to say to yourself.
Well, it's a quote from Waiting for Guffman, because I'm one of those kids. See, so it still won't. Like I'm just like, can I get,
I guess you just have to be up close for the time for the next.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Hello. Now I'm barely in focus. I'm focused. It really likes my finger. It really likes. I don't know what's going on. Amazon, you see this? Big Daddy Jeff, you see this? You can save me. You send me your
Jeff is not saving anybody.
He's not. He's saving himself for his spaceship.
Jeff doesn't save the poor. So,
Dice, how was your flight back, Dice?
Well, I was telling the chat this. It was fine, but then I got sick afterwards. It was shortness of breath and a little bit of fever. So I was like, "Oh no, maybe I got the COVIDs," but so far negative.
Oh, okay. So it's just flu or cold or whatever.
Cold. I think it was because of the change in weather, and I kind of underestimated the LA fall temperature.
Yeah.
I was like, it's fine. It's like, it's actually pretty cold. So yeah,
let's see.
But I feel okay.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
but it went well. It went well and everything.
Yeah, the Hawaii. Yeah, it was great. Have you been to Hawaii?
My wife's from Hawaii, dude. I've been there like a gazillion times.
Okay.
Yes.
That answers the aloha. This is the only aloha shirt I have, and I got it on the trip.
Oh, really?
Because
I have more aloha shirts than not now.
Oh, really?
Oh.
My whole wardrobe is like aloha shirts.
Something about that place makes me like, I should get all the things that they have.
Yeah.
Because that's true with anywhere. But then I came back to LA with this shirt, and I was just kind of like, I feel kind of stupid because it's too much. This is too much in LA.
Never. No way, man. I love how you and I are sitting here talking about clothes, and Earl is getting more and more out of focus.
I'm literally just phasing out into the background, like I'm just going to become the screen, like.
You as the host of the channel.
I know, me as my. I don't.
You just talk.
Hi everyone. Anyway, Greg, one of the things that I did want to say is you're from Evanston.
Yes.
So I'm from Albany Park. I was born in Chicago. I grew up there, and then my parents live in Vernon Hills now, up in the northern suburbs. Hold on, please, camera.
Vernon Hills. That's
way north.
So which what you take 94 and you keep going north?
Yeah, and then and you basically before you get to Gurnee, before you get you can take 94 all the way out. And then you get onto Milwaukee or past Dundee up north, by Buffalo Grove.
Yeah. Libertyville, Buffalo Grove. Wait, where's Hawthorne Shopping Center?
That's Vernon Hills. That is Vernon Hills.
That's Vernon Hills, dude.
That's my mall. That's where I
was my secondary mall
as a shitty teenager.
Oh no,
playing games at the Aladdin's Castle.
Oh my gosh. Are you shitting me? We went to Hawthorne, but only when we couldn't, because mine was Northbrook Court. I went to
Northbrook Court was way cooler and way better. Oh
No,
man,
Hawthorne was more bougie though. Hawthorne was definitely more bougie.
Hawthorne tried to be. That's the thing. Most people let it just because they were like, okay, you're way out north. Like, whatever. Who goes that way? Like, if we're not like, you're the thing that's in between us and Gurney Mills.
Dude, I told you that I worked at the fucking miniature golf course, right? The one.
What?
Park King, the Pink Castle.
You worked at the Park King?
For like 4 summers, man.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
The Park King. I've gone on homecoming dance pre-dates there. I have gone to like birthday parties when I was like 12.
Oh, dude. I had to fucking like set up the birthday party. I probably set up a fucking birthday party.
You set up a birthday party for me. Or was there a chubby Asian kid that was screaming a lot and throwing his? Because I was a little wild, so it was like it would be the what is that kid doing? Oh man, this is amazing.
Isn't that crazy, dude? That's hilarious.
This is such a small world. Okay. Pete. First, actually, we're gonna go back. I have a bunch of questions that I just. How do you say roof? The thing that goes roof.
The roof.
Roof.
Yeah.
Roof.
Up the ladder to the roof.
One of the things that I've noticed a lot about the people that have grown up in our general area is that there's a lot of roughing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go to the roof. What? Did you just bark at me, sir? Like my brother does. Like a bunch of people that I know. Like it's like a weird Chicago-ish thing that I'd been thinking about for the last few days.
Well, I never really picked up the Chicago accent because I grew up in the suburbs the whole time. So if you were in Albany Park, like you probably got a bit. That was when I
was a little kid, and then basically like high school, we like junior high school, we went out. So like, I went to Hawthorne. Okay. Yeah, so. As a little one,
you probably didn't get it that much either.
Yeah, so I didn't get it much, but it's a thing where like my brother does it, I do it occasionally. Like now, because of trading, I'll usually say roof, but I think it's one of those things where like occasionally I'll catch myself like, oh, there's someone up on the roof. I'm like, what just happened in my mind? Get on the roof.
Maybe I did say it that.
I know. I see, and that's another thing where you're like, oh, whoa. But it's one thing that I always notice whenever I'm like back in Chicago, and I was there working on a show a couple of years ago, and I heard someone say it, and I was like,
yeah, that maybe because whatever I had, I lost because I used to kind of like roll. I used to roll off my R's a little bit, like not like people in the city, not like this.
Not
bad,
the full.
Not like the full Chicago kind of thing. I never talk like that, but. Like there are friends of mine who like they still close off their R's, like they park the car over there, and it sounds so bizarre to me now.
It's such an interesting thing. I feel like, especially once you leave that general sort of Chicagoland area, like I feel like everyone just sort of like, oh yeah, we talked really strangely.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, I miss it.
I feel like I've monopolized most of this conversation, but we have a thing to show.
Let's do it.
To watch, and before we proceed, mainly because we want to admire the beautiful acting and voice acting of these two gentlemen. It is a spoiler for Ghost of Tsushima. This is a big spoiler, but we're assuming that most of you have played the game. I feel like it's safe to say, or you've watched us play the game, so we're gonna hopefully not scandalize everyone and ruin everyone's perception of the game. But so turn away if you don't want spoilers. I'm warning you now. This is your vocal warning. Do not get mad at me. Do not come for me because I ruined some game. Because no, I'm warning you. All right. Here we go. Let's get into the scene. Yeah. Hold on. Go. Oh, so beautiful.
Now's your chance.
Are you all right?
I'll live. What about you? Still hearing her?
No. Daddy.
I'm sorry, Jin.
So am I.
Sounds like a celebration. I better check on Pune. Tell her the good news.
Go on. I'll join you later.
Don't wait too long. Jin.
Well, we can keep going. We can skip ahead.
Is there more?
I think that's it, though. Technically.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yay.
Yay!
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Look at that
look.
beautiful work.
I loved that scene, man.
It's a good scene. It's such a nice, like, especially after you're playing and fighting and taking out the eagle and getting stressed out because you keep dying and she keeps killing you and then she keeps doing that move that you can't avoid because you're supposed to be avoiding it and you can't, and then finally you're just like people being people and like people being beautiful. I don't know, like there's so much breadth and space in I think the way both of you treat that scene that I find so, it's such a nice, yeah, it just gives you that bit of like, oh, okay, this is I don't know if that makes sense.
Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like the first time I met Dice, I was just doing random NPCs. Actually, the first time I came in and met you, Dice, I think I was recording Takeshi, actually. And I remember thinking Dice was so intense. Like later,
Really?
the first time I really got the sense that you, like that I could rest assured you weren't gonna like stab me in the parking lot was when I saw you at a Cambodian rock band up in Ashland.
Oh, yeah.
Just because I there was, you did performance, and at Bows you were super smiley and you like dragged me out on stage. Okay, for quick story, everyone, I do these scenes with Dice. We're working on this game and I was just like, oh shit, he's the lead in this huge game or whatever. Then my friends and I from college go to we have an annual pilgrimage to the Ashland Shakespeare Festival. We go up there. There's a show there called Cambodian Rock Band, and all my friends are like, I've heard so much about this. I want to go see it. I said, okay, let's go see it. So I look at the cast list. I'm like, wait a second, I think I just worked with this dude yesterday on a video game
in LA.
That's so weird.
Yeah, and so then we go to the show, and I'm like, yep, there he is. He puts on a fucking fantastic performance. And then after part of the bows, at the end of the show, like Dice comes out and drags people on stage to dance. And he makes a beeline for my ass, drags me out on the stage. So I'm the first one dancing in front of this entire theater out, but then eventually everyone joined in. But it was like, I saw, because I don't think you smiled. The whole first session that I worked with you, you were just,
really?
you were the whole time you were just like,
oh, wow.
And
ever the professional.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh man, this dude is intense, man.
That's a good, I mean,
where did they get this guy?
I kind of want to incorporate. So you can ask questions in the chats. Just tag the mods, I think.
Yes.
But one of the questions from the chat, Lanin Jawa says, and I want to incorporate it and ask my own version of it. And that's how did it feel to play several characters who have a connection to significant people in Jin's life, being Takeshi, Ujimasa, Yarikawa's Rebel, and Tenzo? And do you tend to play side characters, or would you prefer more leading roles? And I want to follow that up with the question of, because you play the leading roles, when you do work with other people, with supporting roles, like do you try to be welcoming? Because I feel like
are you nice to the other people? Yeah. Are you nice to the day players? Do you treat the day players nice?
Because now that I know about it, I just worked on a TV show where the lead, the number one person, was very welcoming and smiling, and it's kind of it's kind of not sad, but like to hear you say that is like, oh, was I guess I didn't smile. Oh man.
No, I just figured you were super into the role. I'm like, oh, he's one of these
Yeah,
dudes
yeah,
that's
yeah.
just like super focused and everything. I didn't take offense to it at all.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's
no,
good.
no, not at all. It was just more, I was just kind of scared of you, but it's not a big deal.
He's working on his art.
Maybe that's what I was trying to do. Is trying to
Yeah,
scare
maybe
people.
exactly. So
Yeah.
everybody like would be like, oh, it's the ghost. Oh my god. But,
yeah. What is
to-
it like?
To answer your question, it was I didn't really think about it too much because I may have done Takeshi and Ujimasa on the same day, I think. And you know, when it's a minor character like that and there isn't a ton you need to worry about, you know, you just take the character's description and you play it as best you can. You know what I mean? I didn't know that I was going to be Tenzo later. That came later. And so then when I became Tenzo, it was sort of like, okay, well, you know, obviously I don't want to drift so far out of my natural zone that it's going to be not me, but I do want to try and distinguish this character somehow. So, you know, we kind of toyed with the voice and mostly the attitude. I think it was mostly the attitude that set Tenzo apart.
Yeah.
You know, because Ujimasa was he was sort of like a noble kind of guy, sort of like a more, you know, he was more managerial than like foot soldier. So he was easy to distinguish from, you know, Tenzo and Takeshi. I mean, Tenzo was just a little bit grittier, you know, just a little bit more intense and grittier. I think that's pretty much where it went. And I did toy with the accent a little bit too. I did try and because you know, for Takeshi, I just tried to do sort of like my best shot as a Korean actor of a Japanese accent. When it came to Tenzo, I intentionally kind of wanted to give him a little bit more twang to make him a little more nondescript because he's sort of like this pirate character, right? And I imagine he's been to a lot of different lands and pillaged a lot of different people and kind of absorbed a little bit more. So I didn't want him to be sort of like pure. It was an opportunity because we obviously didn't want him to sound like Takeshi either. So it was an opportunity to kind of put this story of, well, he's probably absorbed little bits and pieces. So I kind of made him I kind of incorporated a little bit of like more Chinese sounding vowels and stuff like that. You know, if I, you know, obviously I'm always saying Jin from Yarikawa, but when I said like, you know, like that, was a little bit more Chinese than Japanese or Korean, you know, Korean's going to be no, right?
Yeah.
Japanese, no, just sort of neutral, but no, you curl it a little bit. It's a little bit different. So I wanted to have him be a little bit less of the environment in that way.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things that I definitely get across in your performance of Tenzo is like he's got swagger. Like he's got, but I don't know if that but like you can hear it in just like I feel like there's like and it's not like in a contemporary context of like a gangstery swagger. It's like sea leg swagger, you know, like there's something to it that like that gives it that like I don't know. There's like it's attitude, you know. I think that's one of the things that definitely I think comes across just throughout Icky, where you're like this guy.
yeah. I mean, they told me from the very beginning, like, you know, and it's very telling in his line where I say, you're used to talking to people like that, but not here, samurai. Like, you know, your samurai shit doesn't mean anything to me right here, anything. It fucking pisses me off, you know? So I think the fact that just story-wise, he was written to not really be deferent, to defer to Jin, I think kind of spoke volumes. It kind of filled in a lot of blanks as to what type of person this is. You know what I mean? So yeah. But I was psyched. I was so psyched, man. You know, after doing those characters with you, the other characters, when they offered me Tenzo, I'm just like, this is fucking awesome, man. I get to go toe to toe with the Dice Man.
Yeah, toe to toe. Yeah, and I told Lee this, but it one of the things that did kind of suck was because of the pandemic, we couldn't be in the same room. But yeah, it was great to work off of your voice, off of your work.
Yeah, and it's funny. I think they would have had, because the Tenzo does resemble me, but I don't think, I mean, he doesn't resemble me as much as Jin resembles you, and as much as you know, Somali. Why do I want to say Maya? That's not her name. Yuna resembles Somali, but because of COVID, they were like, "Look, we want to scan you in using that machine where you sit there for like 4 hours, and around your face and everything." And I'm like, I just can't. I gotta, we're just not there yet where we're coming out of the house and doing that type of stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they did the best they could with just like the facial capture.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why Tenzo sort of like is Greg-ish, but not,
Yeah, that's such an interesting thing because like it's a thing where like in my brain like I look at you and your picture and I'm like, yeah, give him some facial hair, give him some long hair, give him a little like, and then kind of look back and kind of squint and yeah, it's great, And then now that you're mentioning it, it's like, yeah, there is slight kind of interest. That's such an interesting thing.
I wonder if I were to actually cosplay Tenzo at some point, then we could see how much I could pull it off. It'd be interesting.
I mean, I feel like at some point we're just gonna all have to cosplay.
That'd be amazing.
All of the Ghost characters, mainly just because why not? And also, I want to own those pants. Sorry, I love the Norio parachute pants that he has.
Your outfit is wonderful.
It's a lot of drip that I just at one point want to wear. And like, you have so many outfits. Like, gee, bus, you have just so many. Just all of the drape yourselves in luxurious fabrics.
Yeah. I would have
Dice
to, yeah.
crashed my stream once when I was playing. I was near the end, and
Nice.
I hadn't collected any of like the gifts the entire time.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So, like near the end of the game, I show
At
up
the
and I'm like,
shrines.
oh, yeah. I'm just like, what the fuck is this? And I get this package, and it's like 20 headbands.
Hundreds,
And Dice types, he's like, that's a lot of gifts, man. Like, what have you been doing? And I didn't
'cause it
realize I was
helps
collecting
you.
from the whole game. I was just like, oh shit, this is a good quest. Like, you got to come here and get all this fucking shit. But
Get all these headbands, man.
Yeah.
They've been piling up.
Yes.
They're taking up a lot of space, sir.
True.
oh gosh, yeah, good stuff though. I mean, like, so now, I don't know. I mean, I think we're all kind of praying for a sequel. That'd be super cool, wouldn't it? I guess
We'll see. I mean, yeah, don't
then
get the chat started because we don't know.
And we got the movie. We
Yeah,
got
the
sequel.
movie.
Let's not talk
God.
about. I don't know. We'll just. Oh God. Oh.
Yeah. Every time the movie's brought up, I'm not like super
I
excited
know.
about it.
None of
because
us
I'm
are
not-
really excited because they're just
I'm
like,
not
yeah,
optimistic.
they'll probably cast
I'll just
someone
get somebody.
else.
Oh, but that'd
Yeah.
be so cool. That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Can't hurt
Yeah.
to dream.
Can't hurt to dream. It's true.
hurt to
Like
dream.
that's why I'm like, we're putting it out there in the universe. We're manifesting. We're also like, there's a whole bunch of new horizons that and precedents that this game has set that people are like, that there's momentum, there's things, there's people who love this guy, who love like who are kind of attached to us as humans. So maybe we'll be able to make it happen. Who knows?
Yeah. Maybe.
I mean, if it doesn't happen, I'd at least like want to be like, can I just come on set for a hot sec? Can I be an extra? Like,
Yeah. Can I bring John Cho his wand?
there are so many monks. If I'm not, can I bring Benedict Wong a prayer bead? Is that are you just gonna give it to Benny? Because I get it.
I was trying to develop a Benedict Wong impression. It's really hard.
It's hard because he's.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's got this voice. It kind of, the way that he pronounces his vowels sometimes is like.
But then it also has East London. It has
Yeah,
full on
it's
East.
so complicated,
East
yeah.
London, like from the streets of Bethnal Green level of like, right, and you're just like, what?
I
How
know.
did you? Okay, Benny. Like, yeah.
The most exposure I've had to his work was Marco Polo.
So I was trying to base the entire thing.
Oh
off of,
yeah.
like, I mean, he kind of kept his sound all in his face like
Mhm.
this.
Yeah.
So good.
That's so good.
But it's weird because the thing that I start learning about impressions is that a lot of it is placement and a lot of it is certain voices. You have to do stuff in your face to try and mimic the same kind of cavity of resonance. Like Benedict
Mhm.
Wong.
When he was doing that role, he kind of closed off his nasal passages a little bit. So
Mhm.
this, I don't know if that's his natural face or what, but
Like, so I actually am sealing it off as I'm talking.
Yeah. It's pushing
Let me
it forward.
do. We're all doing.
Are we all doing Benny Wong?
And it's Benny Wong.
We're all Benny Wong.
We are Benny Wong.
We've all just
there's going to
started.
be three
There's gonna be
Benedict
three.
Wongs in here.
Brave
Oh,
Benny.
I'm Benedict Wong.
I'm
What are you
Benedict
talking
Wong's
about?
younger. I'm his younger
Hey.
brother.
Don't do that spell.
I just want to be his young.
I'll be right back.
I'm Benedict Wong's brother, Tommy Wong, and I should have been cast in that show, but they passed me over because I had a cold that didn't. Didn't let me come to the call back.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Now I'm just trying to think of all the fabulous Wong brothers that are named after a breakfast and brunch item. So like we've got Waffles Wong, we've got Benedict Wong, we've got. I was thinking about the
pancake.
Yes.
The dog named Pancake.
Pancake Wong. This is all breakfast items, brunch items. You know, you name it.
This is my sister, Hollandaise.
Oh my gosh.
Hollandaise, where are your manners? Say hi to everybody. This is Hollandaise.
This is Hollandaise. Oh, it's so good. Greg, that is all right. Impressions. That is that's wonderful. It's not a skill set that I particularly have, but that's why whenever someone pulls them out, I'm just like,
Yeah, I know. It's so.
Well, the funny thing, I mean, I can do like I could do a select number, all right, and then the rest are just nowhere close. They're so bad. I think there's just like some certain, like if people are within your natural range, within a certain distance, you can grab at it, but you know.
I love
Yeah,
it.
and
I love
you use a lot of it on your streams, and it's really,
I do.
fun.
My chat likes to make me jump through hoops and put these celebrities in horrible situations. So,
So like Benedict Wong, but he's in the tiger cage at the San Diego Zoo.
Yeah.
And he's covered in
Somebody
steak.
get me the fuck out of here. Get me. Seriously.
oh my god, I can't even.
I just love that. I just love that scenario.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, dang. Anyway.
Anyways,
It's awesome.
here's
I'm so
another
tired.
random question. What was it like collaborating with Lonely Island? That's from.
That was a
Heather.
question I was gonna ask.
Oh yeah, was it? Oh, sorry.
No, you got it.
I mean, it's always super cool to collab with those guys, you know, like they do cool shit and they're really
Yeah.
good at it, you know. And so
How did
they're-
How did it come
okay,
about?
so it's super weird. Like I went to college with two guys who now are like their careers just went crazy, right? So they hang in those circles. But back in the day, this was 2004 when I met Lonely Island. My friends were writers on the 2004 MTV Movie Awards, right?
Oh.
And so were Yorma, Kiva, and Andy, right? And this is
Mhm.
before they blew up with SNL and everything, right? They were just
Right.
Lonely Island.
Yeah.
And so I wrote like a 12-second music cue for a Lindsay Lohan sketch for that show. And but we got tickets to the show. And I got sat down right next to Lonely Island dudes. Right?
Oh, nice.
Cool.
So that's how I mean, it's so fucking random when you think about it, right? So that's how we met. We kept in touch a little bit and stuff, and then they fucking blew up. And lo and behold, when they remembered that they had something like, hey, maybe Greg would be good for that, they called me, you know? And so it was cool because even after MTV Movie Awards, like I helped on their pilot. They had a pilot called Awesome Town. And I helped
nice.
them with some music stuff and some voiceover stuff and whatever. So, they remember. It's not like they're like, we're famous. See you later. You know what I mean? Like they're good guys. And so they
Yeah.
brought me in on this and that. And I did
That's
a little bit
awesome.
of work for SNL and then, whatever. They're always doing stuff on such a grand scale that it's fun to be a part of,
Yeah, that's amazing. Just the serendipity of like, yes, you were already also working with it, but then you just happened to be sat together and like, hey,
Yeah.
oh
it's
yeah,
crazy.
that's my music. Like, and then it's like, that's amazing. Yeah. Like it's such a, I don't know. I feel like this industry, just this world, just film, TV, performance, that it's so interpersonal in a way that it's
Yeah.
just like,
There's
some person
so
that
much,
you're,
cross
there's so many
pollination,
things. Yeah.
ton of it. Yeah, yeah. So it's fun, and most recently, I've been doing music for this show. I think you should leave. It's a Tim Robinson comedy show on Netflix, And so that was a Lonely Island production. So they brought me into that to be able to do the music for that show. That show is fucking hilarious, man.
You mean you're somehow connected to the people that know about Dan Flashes? Sorry, that show is absolutely brilliant. But like the Dan Flashes sketch, I think is just. I like walk around and I'll like see people, or like I'll get texts from my friends, or like I just saw the most incredible Dan Flashes shirt, and just like people sending me bizarre shirts and things, just like, look at all the patterns, how they crisscross. But we'll be like, I'll be out with my partner and we'll be like grabbing lunch or like getting something, and then like it'll be like Dan Flashes 9:00, and it'll be like, what? But oh man, Dan Flashes is like the for those of you that don't know, Dan Flashes is like the LuLaRich for men's clothing. Really, I don't know if those of you that don't know what LuLaRich is, you're better off, or LuLaRoe. Sorry.
Yeah, it's so funny. The weirdest thing you can hear on that show that's like a crossover into our world is that I think it's the end credits for either episode 3 or 4. I'm not sure, but it's Connor O'Malley singing this song. LA's got me on my knees. Like, I can't remember which episode it is. It's just the ending credits.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Why am I so in love? Right. So in that short end credit song, that's me and Christina V singing backup for him, because I wrote that song with them. And so Christina V and I are singing the backup vocals in there. It's super random. But
that's so
yeah,
funny.
for that show, normally Tim and Zach, they'll just send me like lyrics and then kind of like like a vocal scratch of what they're sort of hearing in their head. So then I'll put it together in a demo and we'll go back and forth and refine it until it's done. And then
Oh, that's fantastic.
Wow, that's so cool.
we're hoping for season 3. We'll see.
Yes. Please, like, that show makes me laugh like in the most uncomfortable ways sometimes, and I just it's so brilliant. Like, I just sit there and I'm like, how are you doing? Like, just so many. If you haven't seen it, everyone, really, you should. I think you should leave.
She thinks he's another guy with the hat and the glasses. Sorry, we shouldn't go all inside.
I know. Now it's just gonna be like, that's just gonna be doing. I think you should. Are you gonna eat that? Can I try it?
That's my favorite.
That scene.
That
scene. Oh my god, that sketch. I got up from the couch and like I had to like go into the next room and like
So
watch
cringe,
from like the other room, because I was like, I can't do this right now. I'm literally dying inside.
Oh, and actually, Steve, who people who are fans of Steve, the first season, the gift receipts.
Oh yes, the gift receipts. Oh my god, the gift receipts. Oh god, but does it have the gift receipt?
Then let my wife eat. Okay, we're not gonna.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. We'll just do this. We'll just end up doing this. Hi, Greg. You're great. Sorry, this is great.
I don't know anything what you're talking about. So
It's real fun. It's real fun, Dice. I'll fill you. We'll watch it.
Yeah.
Hold on. What do we? Should we get chat questions? I feel like I've just been hogging. I feel like most of the time I'm just like.
Well, before we ask a bunch of the questions, I actually wanted to talk to you about the Squid Game and talk about Squid Game.
Oh, right. I guess we should talk
because
about
it's
Squid
it's the hottest thing. I don't know what to talk about, but just the world of dubbing and how. Do you have any tips? Because I need some tips.
Oh man, yeah.
It's so big now.
Dubbing, it's become such a huge thing, and I had my first dubbing gig. We worked on DP together.
Yeah.
But I mean separately.
Did you work on that?
Did you?
I don't think so.
Did you do DP?
Because you're doing everything.
Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah. What was it like working on Squid Game? And did you know that it was going to be this big?
No, God, we had no idea. I mean, we loved the show. Like the director and me, we had such a good time working on it because that character is just so ridiculous. Like it's fun being him because he's so just all over the place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's Lee Jung-jae. Like, sorry, like I don't know if your parents were like freaking out when they were like, "You do the voice for Lee Jung-jae." Like, I feel like every single person that is of Korean descent that is connected to that actual show. It's just people being like, this person is like Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise rolled into one, but also Sean Connery. I don't know. Like, people love him.
They do. And when he was on Fallon the other night, Jimmy Fallon said that he's most often plays villains. And so that's why this is so, because his character is so goofy and all over the place in Squid Game, you know. But I loved working on him, particularly because okay, so live dubs are tough. Live dubs are super fucking tough. Like anime, you can get away with it because, you know, the style is kind of choppy. Like lip sync is sort of like whatever. Even in the original language, lip sync is kind of whatever. But when it comes to live action dubs, like trying to match an actual live actor's emotions, all that kind of stuff, it's hard. It is hard as shit. And then, you know, you get on top of that, you've got translation, you've got trying to fit in a certain thought into a certain number of a certain time that may be expressed in much more succinctly in another language, and you have to somehow convey that meaning. You've got to sync up with the lips. Like there's so much shit going on that, you know, it's a hard thing to do. To what I always say about dubbing is it's never going to be the case that people aren't going to know that it's a dub. But our job is to try and make it as good as possible for those people who either, for whatever reason, don't want to read subtitles. You know what I mean?
Or can't. Or can't.
Yeah. Who are, if there's an accessibility thing too, absolutely. Or if somebody just is more comfortable processing stories in their own language. You know, I mean, there's a million and one reasons why somebody would want to have a dub of it. And I feel like as dubbing actors, it's our responsibility to not try to fuck up the story, try to not fuck up the storytelling as much as possible. You want that beautiful story, whatever it is, to be able to touch that person emotionally as much as we are able to do, you know. But I love the work because it's so challenging. It really is very challenging. And to get a scene or whatever, if you feel like you've got it right, I mean, it's so, to think that you did a job that could maybe get somebody to feel the emotion that they're supposed to feel at this point, and giving that person that ability when they don't speak that language, that's really cool to me. So I love dubbing work. I love it.
Yeah, I found it to be really, like, in that way, like, challenging, in that, like, the person who's on camera has the opportunity to, because of the circumstance, because of everything that's happening, they get to be in that character. But then for us on the other side, it's like, okay, I have to get to those stakes and get to that level and just sort of be in that way of being, but all I have to do with is my voice. And it's sort of like, I don't know, it was a really interesting thing. Plus the technical aspects of it, that was a thing that I wasn't even sort of expecting to sort of kind of come into, just like, oh, great take. However, this one lip flap, you were just a little too quick. So if you could just let's just try it. We'll do it more. And you're just like, oh, right. Yeah. Lip flaps. So many things just in the like juggling process that I felt like, yeah, it's so technical. Like it's a lot of
very technical.
I think it's really cool. Like it's sort of the, like, I don't know, there's a thing to it, like just the technique around it in order to be able to do solid and clear, like authentic embodied dubbing, which I think never, you know, at the same time, one of the big issues that I feel like come up with is like budget and timing, because how quick, do you mind me asking, how quickly did you finish the series when you started?
Squid Game, I recorded probably 45 hours for Squid Game. Something like that. So
that's no joke. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, that
makes
makes
sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's for real.
Really,
I mean, but you know, Earl, you and I are gonna work together a lot because there's so much shit coming over from Korea, like so much Korean content. It's insane. You know what I mean? And
Come on, Japan.
I almost hey, Dice and I are in a show together.
We are.
Time to Hunt. We're two of the main characters together. There's a movie called Time to Hunt, a Korean movie called Time to Hunt on Netflix. Dice and I are like, there's three main guys who are like best friends. Me and Dice are two of them.
Nice.
Yeah. Hey. We have some really intense moments. It's pretty amazing.
I like the movie. That's my first dubbing.
Was that your first dubbing job?
Oh, Time to Hunt. Yeah.
You did great. You did great, man. It was awesome. I was so excited when I found out you were on it.
Yeah, it's hard. I was gonna say,
but
the
it's
technical
a challenge.
aspect of it. yeah, when I did DP, I just felt like I wasn't really acting at all because it's like I'm just gonna match the voice or match the timing of it as best I can.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, great, moving on to the next, it's like, okay, if that was good enough. But one thing I wanted to say, because there was some discussion, well, there's been discussions in the internets about like how the translation is not accurate and all that stuff. And I just wanted to say it's totally understandable. Like I would be frustrated if I was watching something in Japanese and it wasn't accurate. But one thing is like translation is, they're not maybe getting paid a whole lot to do. They're not getting a whole lot of time. And also I feel like a lot of it, like you mentioned, Greg, is about matching the flaps or matching the timing of it. So sometimes they say, we'll just make it into, translate into this, something that's not accurate, but something
Or
that
less
fits
accurate.
better. Yeah. And it's unfortunate because a lot of times it's, when it's not accurate to the cultural differences, something that we can learn, from another culture.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate, but at the same time, it's tricky, it's
yeah. And that's the thing is that it's such a balancing act, and there is only so much one can do when you're effectively trying to put a square peg into a round hole. I mean, you just got to make compromises, and that's the nature of the beast. But I read that article about Ali and how the whole thing with Sang-woo and everything, that he was calling him 사장님, right?
사장님. Yeah. 사장님 is
president or boss or whatever.
It's boss. Yeah. But it's also a thing like it's not done as much, but like 사장님 is just like it's a informal formal. So like the most formal way that you can call someone that you don't know. Right. That is sort of like shopkeepers will call a customer's 사장님, like someone you're ordering, like so if you're in sort of that like transactional position, then pretty much everyone is 사장님, as well as like I don't know. I feel like Ali's position is also really interesting because one of the things that it brings to light is sort of the I don't know, the labor that gets shipped in all over Asia that is usually from South Asia and Southeast Asia and that goes out to make money and sort of are put in these awful precarious situations that often end up being abusive and exploitative. And I think one of the things is that the whole situation in that world for Ali like makes it so that his entire existence is vulnerable and in danger. And so it's that thing of like, of course, it's like you're gonna call everyone boss if you're just like the literal lowest place on the totem pole, like in you're the bottom of the pile. You are in that like sequence of being like as well as just in the situation where he's already being exploited by his employer and all of that stuff. That it's this expansive, I think, just I don't know. I feel like it's a really lovely role.
It is, and it actually, springboarding of what Dice was saying, that is a perfect example of something that just simply cannot be captured in English. Hyung is, I mean,
it's such a huge transition.
Yeah, there's so much to it. To go from 사장님 to Hyung, and in the translation, he just called him Sang-woo. He called him sir, and then he called him Sang-woo.
Calls him by his name.
The difference between that 사장님 going to Hyung, there's so much baggage that comes with it that's not conveyed in English. So in the end, when he's screaming Sang-woo after he's, more spoiler alerts, everyone. I'm so sorry. Squid Game.
Oh yeah.
Close your ears.
But if you didn't realize it is a death game, I feel like that becomes very clear when you're watching the previews. It doesn't end well for pretty much.
The next 30 seconds, I'm going to spoil majorly. So la 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 la, plug your ears, plug
for
your ears.
everybody, because I want to ask about the ending.
So,
oh well, maybe not.
When Ali, I heard, and I didn't know this because I didn't do that scene. I wasn't in that scene, but Ali apparently, when he realizes he's been betrayed and he screams out Sang-woo for the last time, he's screaming Hyung in the Korean.
Yeah.
And that is fucking heartbreaking, man. That is, in Japanese Dice, there must be an honorific that's equivalent to sort of like big brother, where it means much more than brother. Here in America, it's like, hey, brother, you know what I mean? But like that means so much in Korean. And the fact that that's what he's screaming out at the end before he's killed is fucking terrible. There's no way to replicate that in English. There's no way.
Right.
Yeah. And it's sort of, it's close because it's that thing of like going from a purely a purely sort of professional formality to then going to the familial, deference. Like I think like just that big sequence, as well as like him being a person who is not Korean, to be able to do that, like to have that sort of level of absorption, or or sort of assimilation in that way, where he, Sangwoo and the group, the survival group sort of accept him in the way that also, like, often is the case, that people who are foreign, either domestic or factory workers that come from different countries, like, are ostracized by the greater countries that they go to, and find it really difficult to find inroads to be have any sort of cultural connection or exchange, and so they're all sort of relegated to socialize with each other, and it sort of becomes that just the idea of how slums begin. Like how we create as they say, ghettos. But and in that sort of sequence of sorry, like we're getting into like labor theory and things, but because this sort of shadow economy exists in so many Asian countries, like it's I think it's such a thing where oftentimes the characters that are often seen in this position are I don't know, overly melodramatized in a way, but like I feel like Ali is so, I don't know, has agency and personality, and everyone's effed, everyone in the situation is so effed in the A, and so it's that thing of like, well, then you're able to find more nuance when everyone's in the situation of dire straits, and so I think there's something really about how that was handled, especially for a because Korean shows don't have a really good history of having non-Korean characters be well represented.
Yeah, my gosh.
Like,
without giving too much away, how did you feel at the very end? The end of the season.
I have questions for you.
Oh, questions
about the end.
Oh, okay.
We'll just but
do this if you
off of Dice's question.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm also Earl, you should put like an actual graphic, like a text that says "spoiler alert." Just
Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll have to create a little text.
The ending, I loved the ending just because I'm a vengeful bastard. Like myself, I'm a very vengeful person.
Oh,
like you wouldn't think it. I seem like a pretty happy-go-lucky guy.
Yeah,
but there's fury housed within that chassis.
Every Korean's got fucking torment.
It's true. It's true.
I know
Rage. East Asian. I mean, I feel like there's some. I feel like we got a lot of East Asian rage.
Yeah. It's true. And I grew up with having to deal with a lot of racism on a daily basis and stuff. It was, mostly. So I had and I didn't really have anybody to talk to. So I had a long time to develop a real sort of like vengeance ideation kind of thing. And so the ending, I'm just like, fuck yeah, man. That's, so I liked it. I don't think it's good for him. I wouldn't have done that just because,
It's definitely not healthy.
Exactly.
It's definitely not healthy.
I feel bad for him.
We can agree on that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's for me. It was just like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Man, I was angry at the end. I was angry for season 2. Like it wasn't even like, oh, I can't wait for season 2. I was kind of like, fuck this. I guess I want more. I have to have it now.
Yeah.
I hear you. Okay, so my question.
Still spoilers? Maybe.
This is still. I think this might spoilers. Be. Yeah. I think this might still be spoiler. Technically, hold on.
Yeah,
I will.
Sorry.
I've made a giant spoiler alert text. Spoiler alert. There we go.
Yeah.
This is also having to do with the end.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on the makeover.
Oh,
the makeover.
yeah.
What are your thoughts on that choice? Do you think there's like what did you guys? I don't know.
Is there a meaning to it?
I don't know. I mean, do you think there is? Do we think
It doesn't look
think
great.
there is?
No,
I agree on that.
It's not,
Agree on that.
it's not a good look. But what I like about it is that again is the type of thing that I would do. Like if I were in that space where it's like I want to start over, I want to kind of shed the whatever I can from the past and kind of it's just like the same reason why you need to move out of your house if your spouse dies while you were living in that house, or if your child dies. Like you just can't be there, It's too traumatic. If you go through shit like that and you do what he did and you see a different look in the mirror every morning, it helps you I would think it helps you dissociate from the experiences, what you've endured.
Yeah.
So even though it may not have been the best choice, aesthetically for him, he could have gone a different way. I would completely do the same thing. If I was saddled with some trauma that I didn't want to live, that I didn't want to constantly be reminded of, you don't know the kind of drastic shit I would do.
Transformation.
Because I can't let stuff go. And if it's a kind of pain that, if something ever happened to somebody that I love, so deeply, I it would be a question of like, am I not going to kill myself today? Right. So whatever I would need to do to try and stay on this side of the ground, I would do,
Yeah.
So I understand why he did it. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like at a point, like there's I think, they're just in one, again, continuing to spoil, more spoils, but it's just in the fact that he also hasn't used the money, the fact that he lets it sit and sort of like fester almost in a way, and then all of the things happen, just the phone call, all of that happen, and it just feels like there's I have a direction to put all of this everything that I've just dealt with, like to get to this point. And now he's like, for me it just feels like there's like a laser focused, like I have a purpose again, like that thing I think is just so and yes, it seems, I don't know, it seems a little ridiculous, but I get it, like it's that thing of like you also just it's blood red.
I mean, I wouldn't stop there too. I wouldn't stop there. I would get, I've got this one tattoo. Right? And when before COVID hit, there's a whole bunch more that I've been planning, and that's my own baggage from my past and stuff that's going to help kind of, heal things for me.
That's awesome. That's really awesome.
But I do feel like kind of like messing with your appearance and being able to kind of trick your own brain as far as your identity.
Well, it's an ownership thing as well. Like it's a sort of just that, like, not even reclamation per se, but like just it's a declaration that you're saying, like I have agency in how I present myself and how I can be. Like I had a lip ring for most of my like teens.
Oh, really?
And up until I moved to LA, I booked my first gig was Shameless, and I booked it, and they're like, oh, you got a lip ring on? Okay, cool, you can keep it in, or you can have a space or whatever. Like they didn't care, because I was playing the fry cook at Patsy's Pies. I don't know if you watch Shameless, but
I haven't seen it. No, but
it's Chicago, so it's also it's a lot of Chicago love. So it was one of those like, I was destined to be, here I am, blah, but they were so cool with it that I kept it in, and then my next meeting with my agent, he was like, take that out, please. We've gotten 2 notes from casting already where they were unsure or whether or not they could cast you because they weren't going for a punk look. And I was like, but okay, I could take it out. All right. and so it hasn't gone into,
and it's closed. Has it closed up at this point?
I mean, it could, but lips are super easy to pierce. Like they just like go in there once and it'll be fine. Like Sorry.
Are you keeping it open? Are you keeping it open?
It had been open last I checked, like maybe a couple months ago, but like I don't know. I had COVID, and I've recovered from COVID, so that's happened in between the last time I've checked. So maybe it's closed up. Who knows? All sorts of crazy things happen when you get COVID. Like I couldn't smell, I could taste, everything is wild.
crazy.
But yeah.
You can take off the spoiler alert.
Oh, no more spoilers. Yeah, I mean, I can't.
we're done with-
I can't spoil COVID for you. I mean, I guess I could. It sucks. Don't get it. Get vaccinated if you haven't, please.
So yeah, there's all these amazing Korean Netflix shows. I wonder if there's all of them are gonna have, because all of them kind of like all the stuff that we worked on. This like potential second season.
Yeah,
movies.
yeah.
I hope there's
It's
more.
weird.
Give us
Yeah,
all
I
the
mean,
sequels.
You would hope. The thing is that there's a lot of Korean series that seem to have these open endings, but they never go to a second season.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's also very. That's another. I feel like cultural
work?
Korean. It's a cultural
thing?
Korean thing where it's like because generally the TV shows, unless they are like the serial,
Yeah.
soap operas or either live recorded multicam shows, like they're all sort of like we're going to end slightly ambiguously. Like it's like, oh, will they? Maybe they do.
But they're so good. I mean, especially
They are so good.
Squid Game kind of has to now. because
Yeah.
it's so
I mean,
But you know
I
what
don't
I love though about that sensibility? It's kind of the same thing with like the way the British do their shows. It's
British
like 2
television,
seasons,
yep.
a special, and you're done. You don't
Yeah.
jump the shark. You don't start to go in outer space or like deal with fucking Martians
It's
or whatever.
It's 6 episodes a season, and then we're done. And then you get another 6 episodes. Maybe you'll get a Christmas special. Don't be greedy. Tell a good story. And that's the thing where it's like,
Yeah.
I think there's something beautiful in that finite, limited section of space where you're like, here is your parameters. Like, here are your walls. Now build the most goddamn beautiful thing you can within these walls, because you have this container for it, which I think is such an interest. It's such a more, I don't know, for me at least, when I think about making and thinking about creating and writing, blah blah blah, it just feels like like it just feels like this is nice. This is I can work inside this, and I can use this, as opposed to like, well, I'm going to start a story that can originally get picked up to be a 22 episode season, and then possibly be open-ended enough to continue going off for 5 more seasons, and then maybe we'll get another season, and maybe we'll get a movie, but then maybe we'll have to keep making branching bullshit. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just.
Yeah, I don't mind, the whole like sequel thing. I don't mind when something comes to a close organically, because it is, we all love to work, right? But there comes a point where you don't want to taint the I shouldn't use the word taint. You don't want to adulterate.
Sorry,
Adulterate?
I'm a child.
You don't want to adulterate, right? You don't want to contaminate the
You don't want to muddy it.
Yeah, you don't want to muddy. If you've got something that's really like Squid Game, for instance, it's this amazing
If
phenomenon.
it was more
It's an
episodes, it
amazing
would
show.
not. It wouldn't benefit.
We don't
it at
know.
all.
Yeah, if they do a second season, it might fuck it all up. It might be amazing. Who knows?
Yeah, it might be.
But-
it might be not good.
I mean, at least with the season as well. Like with the season, because it's 9 episodes, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something kind of. I love that it's like this. It's not, because 9 episodes isn't really a proper Korean format either. I don't think so. And so it's like, it's not like the HBO 10 or like the set of like, oh, these are going to be limited run 4-part miniseries. Like, it's just like 9. You get 9 episodes, and that's what you're doing. 6 of them are for games. 3 of them are for everything else. Like, boom.
I say we let Squid Game lie for another, like, I don't know, 30 years, and then they'll do a movie version, and I'll play the old man. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh damn!
And I can also play marbles. Look how shiny.
Oh, that's you? How are you doing this?
How?
That's a question. How are you making all these voices?
How does it work? What do you?
Wait, what did you? Yeah. So what? Can you do that voice again?
like technically, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Well, I first I kind of
I mean, there's the
Did you do that voice too? Who did that voice?
No, that was
You might have. You could have. That's the voice.
that was Hideo Kimura. He's amazing. He's amazing.
Don't yell. I'll do as you say. Just don't yell.
You know, he's this
Oh man.
but it's you just lighten up the air that's going through. You press your chords
A little bit to fight against the air coming out a little bit.
and then it's that halting speech pattern.
Right.
You know, he got away.
In a way, Hideo's job was, I think it's Hideo. I think his job was a little more forgiving because he was a sort of a doddering old man.
All of the starts and stops are more forgivable if you are playing this type of character.
Like then you don't have to worry about like we're all talking like we talk and trying to make sense of like when the Koreans go, no, y'all, like they just basically say you, and nobody talks like that in English, right?
Yeah.
So we have to try to make sense of that. And whereas he could just be like,
You were a good friend to me.
you know what I mean? Like, he
and
could get away with it.
that sort of stop start cadence gives it just makes the flap tracking easier too. That makes sense.
And it is right for his character, so it was good. It was good for him.
How much of these voices, different voice, how far do you get to do in voiceover jobs?
I mean, the most I get to stretch is in anime.
Right.
Obviously.
Anime. I mean, video games I can stretch. I don't get cast much to do like video game characters. Yeah, I mean, there's my voice, and then you've got your monster voices and this and that, and then
You've got your military
anime,
voices.
Yeah, get your military voice. Get down. Blah blah blah. Hey, shit, stain, get out of there. So it's just different colors of you. But like when it comes to doing like wacky voices, it's like animation and anime.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you're never gonna in a video game. We were voicing some of Judgment scenes. I was just giving random voices to the girls in the dance club, and they were not appropriate voices. Like one of the girls, I mean, she was talking like this. I can't believe that we need to go to the finals. And somebody in chat said like, so it's basically like Yu-Gi-Oh's grandpa. I forgot what they said, but it was really really funny. So obviously in that, and if you're in animation, you can some crazy character, it's like, oh, hey, you guys can't fuck off. I'm gonna go home. Like you can't do that in a video game unless it's a South Park video game,
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, anime and animation, you get to stretch that's beyond what your regular wheelhouse is, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's cool. We're cutting to
Oh dang, yeah, we've already gone for an hour and
we have
15.
a lot. You're very popular, so we have a lot.
Greg, you're real popular. People like you.
Oh yeah, so much.
People are like really into you and stuff.
Oh
Like
my
I don't know if you know
God.
this,
Oh my God.
but like it's totally great.
We could do a lightning round if you or something.
Yeah,
Lightning round.
I
Let's do
also
it.
I did have a question.
Oh, yeah, what was
Before
your
we go into the lightning round, this is my own lightning round. What's your favorite Chicago pizza place?
Lumalnaris.
Oh yes, Greg, you have the correct answers always. Here's a bit of personal trivia. My parents, after they finally immigrated to Chicago, got to Chicago, this is like 1980 or like 1980, didn't know a single person in the city. My dad went on a whim because his family immigrated and they're all based in DC. They got to Chicago, they moved into their apartment, and the first date that they went on after they were all settled in Chicago was at Lumalnati's.
You're fucking kidding me.
And so Lumalnati's
awesome.
Lumalnati's has it's this place in my heart where it will always just remind me of my family. It's one of the places that we'll go we'll get Lumalnati's if my family's home for the holidays. At least one of the nights we're okay, one of them's gonna be pizza and watch terrible Korean game shows night. And it's just that's just what's happening. But yeah,
you can get him
Good
shipped
answer.
frozen out here.
I do. I know. My parents
pretty good.
My parents have shipped them out. I definitely have had a moment of getting one after a terrible day of oh, I just had 4 auditions and I think I blew all of them and I'm the worst person ever. And then there's a heart-shaped Lumalnati's at my apartment door, and I'm just Oh god. Like, it's one of the most incredible. And then there is the one down in Santa Ana, right? Or there's one in the OC, I think.
Illuminati's?
There's it opened up. I think it opened up recently, but it's like by Disney, if I'm not mistaken.
Shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna have to do that, man. We're gonna have to mash that place.
I will. Yes, we will. Let us make a trek. There's also a Portillo's down there. I don't know if you're. Yes, by Disney. It's because Disney. It's because people love. It's. But there's a
Portillo's. Head on down to Portillo's.
Gotta
get that celery salt. You guys got celery salt today or what?
Hey, why isn't your relish glowing?
Doesn't look radioactive enough. This isn't the right relish. Give me
That's
the
the
right
wrong
stuff.
green. Anyways, sorry. All right, those are my fat kid questions. All right. Chicago fat kid questions. But we can move on to the audience questions.
Lightning round.
Sure.
Lightning round.
Yeah, I don't know if all of them applies, but when did you audition for Tenzo? Retro Danny asks.
I didn't.
Oh, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Damn. That's a good
Greg
question.
Chun doesn't audition. He gets offer only, bitches.
Lucario say, was there something you learned from your performances, Tenzo, that you carried on to your most recent projects?
There is, because it's the first time I really did an extensive facial capture performance, and seeing how it turned out taught me a lot. Yes.
Meteorite asks, dear dad gamer, how did it feel to jump off cliffs with Kage?
Chad's so
They're
mean. I'm
putting
telling
you on the spot.
My Pokemon is so mean.
Why'd you do that?
No,
Why would you-
what?
why would you do that? Why would you do that to that poor horse?
By accident, okay? What abuse? It's fucking hard.
Have they reported you to PETA?
I'm not trying to kill the horse. I'm just trying to play the game, live my life, and I fall off the cliff. So I'm sorry.
Likely story.
So he's just trying to live his life.
Look at everyone. Why did you do that?
Josephine asks, so when are you gonna start playing Legends with us? Not with us, but
League of Legends?
No,
Legends.
Ghost of Tsushima Legends.
Oh, Legends.
With
ASAP.
us.
I'm
With
down.
us.
I know.
We
No,
will-
seriously.
We will get you to where you need to be. Don't you worry.
I'm in.
Retrospective, do you have any personal head canons you came up with to get into character for Tenzo? What's head canons?
What is a headcanon? That
I
sounds
think it's like
violent.
I think it's the idea of like a personal like reality, or like being able to like make building up backstory about
Sort of like putting a reality in your head that you keep
Yeah.
in mind.
Yeah. I think it's also that idea of like backstory between, obviously further than what the actual text has, like sort of extrapolating and building the world that I think essentially.
Not really, honestly. I don't know how much of that I actually do, to be honest. I'll have to put some thought into that, but I don't know if that's a method I've actually employed.
Yeah.
Probably a good idea.
Josephine again says
Josephine with all these questions. Josephine.
Yeah.
Josephine's awesome.
Josephine's awesome. She
watches you.
She watches you. She went over originally as a she's our mod.
Yeah, I know. I realized that. After she
We
said
sent
she
her
did the-
over. We sent her over as a spy, and then and then now she's become terribly addicted to your streams. She was doing reconnaissance work for us.
Josephine,
yeah.
you cut me real deep, Josephine.
But now she's got one of your signatures, and her
Oh
collection's
yeah,
complete.
right. She won.
That's right.
Who'd win in the fight, Tenzo Yagami or Gihun? Gihun.
Oh, well, okay. Giyun would lose, obviously.
Gihun would lose,
Oh.
but Gihun would probably Gihun would take one look at Yagami and be like, "I'm sorry, sir. I'll get you the money, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I'll get you the money." And he'll just sort of like lay down, like just like, and then it would just be Tenzo and Yagami.
Yeah. If they could use swords, Tenzo would win. If they was just fisticuffs, then Yagami would win.
Right.
Oh.
Makes sense. Wireless wall. Do you prefer to do voice or screen acting, and why?
Well, I don't really do screen acting. I mean, I've been in a couple of things just sort of randomly that I got through my voiceover agent, but I would love to do both, honestly. I love doing voice acting, but screen acting, I just don't have the bandwidth to pursue right now because it's a whole other schlep, man. It's like a whole other.
It's
It's like starting a whole new career. It's just different casting directors, different
Right.
agents, different everything. So
Yeah.
And you're just
but
so
one
good at the
day,
voice.
oh, thank you, guys. One day I would love to have the time to pursue it, but right now things are between my music career and voiceover, just no time.
Retro Danny 25 question for Daisuke. Me, how was doing Iki Island with Greg? It's great. My question part 2.
But they also didn't do it together because they weren't ever in the same space.
Yes. So it wasn't intimidating.
So he didn't have his scowl.
Dice didn't scare the shit out of me with his fucking looking at me like he wants to eat me for dinner.
Heather had a follow-up about the Lonely Island question. What songs did you work on with them, and did you work with Michael Bolton? Did you get to meet him, Michael?
Michael Bolton. I did the music for his whole show with Lonely Island stuff. So Michael and I had to we had to be in each other's face like for weeks while we were shooting this thing.
Isn't he lovely?
He's the greatest guy.
He's lovely. He just seems so
cool.
lovely.
Yeah.
He is. In fact, the funny thing is I was in Hawaii with my in-laws and they said, "Oh, you worked on the Michael Bolton show?" And I was like, yeah. And they're like, he's coming to he's giving a concert here. We would love to see him. And I'm like, okay, well, they're like, we're going. We got tickets to see him. I'm like, you're going tickets to see him? So I said, hold on a second. So I texted him and asked, like, can you get my in-laws friends in to meet you backstage? And he was like, yeah, sure. So he just let his manager know. They got to go to the concert and meet him backstage.
Oh my God.
And you're gonna appreciate this, Earl. This is super random. Well, Dice, you might be a football fan too, but Michael Bolton, they go back to meet him, and somehow the guests that were going to meet him at the same time were my in-laws' friends and Franco Harris.
What?
Steelers running back.
Yeah, right? What?
So there's a picture of Michael Bolton, Franco Harris, and my wife's like together, their arms around each other.
What? That is such an amazing, like, this is who's backstage tonight. This is who's meeting us tonight. That's amazing.
It's super random, man.
Oh, wow.
That's so nice.
But yeah, the songs that I worked on I Think You Should Leave were like, whatever. The Skeletons Coming to Life song, the at the funeral where he's singing about 3 stacks on the radio, and the theme song to the Penis Horse
Yes.
Ranch.
Oh.
That's
that
me singing the jingle.
Is that you? Are you Penis Horse Ranch Man?
I'm Penis Horse Ranch. And at the opening of the game show with here's Crunky or whatever his name is. I did the voiceover for the opening of the game show.
Oh my God.
But the biggest song I've worked on for Lonely Island was when Andy hosted the Emmys in 2015. We had like a 5-minute long movie musical at the beginning that Andy sang and performed. And I wrote that with them.
Wow.
And then got to be on set while we did the whole thing to run playback and to whatever.
Cool.
So if you look up 2015 Emmys Andy Samberg opening, you can see this movie music.
Wow, that's so awesome.
All right.
You're so famous.
I just get to see famous people once in a while.
You're famous. You're proximally famous.
That's right.
Within proximity of
like
fame.
Daisuke. I sometimes get to hang out with the lead of Game of the Year, Ghost of Tsushima.
Me too.
Yeah, game of the year. Yeah,
game of my year for
Japan.
That's for sure. Well, yeah, Famitsu game of the year.
Was it?
That's right.
See,
Was
it counts.
It was.
It was.
It was for Famitsu.
Was it?
Yeah. It's something like Ghost has like 47 game of the years, and then Last of Us 2 has like 90 something. 90 some game of the year, but like, there's been a spread. And then Hades has like 30 40 of its own, because 2020 was a great year for games. Like this is some great games. If we say so ourselves. I don't know, it's weird. It's weird if we're like, yeah, that year that our game came out, really great.
Fucking narcissist voice actors, fucking hate them.
They're the worst. Jeez.
Well, there's several, but let's not. I don't think we could get to all of them, but I think this one we ask usually to every guest. But Jury in Retrospective asked, any advice for Asian Americans and beginner voice actors breaking into the arts? We always like that.
Sorry, I warned. So,
why is that funny?
It's a very well, because I have a very stock answer, but it's true. It is it is what you got to do. And that is go to D. Bradley Baker's site, iwanttobeavoiceactor.com, and read every damn word on that site. It tells you the real deal about what it is to pursue this as a profession, what it takes, what to expect. You know, the fact that it's probably going to take you 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years before you're working regularly, before you're in something that anybody recognizes, like all that kind of stuff. One has to be prepared for the long haul, and you got to love it so much that you're willing to, in my own personal story, keep trying when you didn't book anything for a year and a half. That's auditioning every other day. A year and a half. Are you still going to pursue it if you don't book anything for a year and a half? Right? It's like it's just something people got to be prepared for, you know. But if that's what you want to do, man.
Was it a website that you shared with us?
D. Bradley Baker.
I want to be a voiceactor.com. It's literally iwanttobeavoiceactor.com. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. That's actually just good advice in general for anyone that's needing to be a voice actor. Although it's just a funny thing where like I feel like my foray into voice work and this, both Dice and I feel like are kind of outsidery because we weren't active voice actor actors, I guess.
Yeah, you were actors. Actors.
I don't know what that means. But I don't know. It's just it is. I feel like, and that's the thing of like every single person who gets into this industry, their trajectory is so wildly unique and so like to their path in that way. Where I feel like it is such a difficult question to address when it gets thrown. Where it's like, well, here's what I did, but there's literally no guarantee that it's going to help anyone.
Well, that's the thing is that everybody's path is unique. I'm sure your paths are exactly the opposite of mine. You guys were actors first, stage, screen work, whatever. And then you had to kind of absorb the technicalities of transitioning to voiceover. I started already knowing all the technicalities of voiceover. Music, I was a composer and working in the studio and all that kind of stuff. And I had to learn to act because I could not act in the beginning. I was shitty. I was terrible. You listen to my first initial coaching tapes, like, this guy's fucking terrible, right? And but it's something classes. And that's the thing. I will say, go browse iwanttobeavoiceactor.com. If it's my short answer coming from me, beyond that, classes, training until 10 people tell you you're a fantastic actor. Right. Then you're ready to get into voiceover. Yeah.
I mean, training is a thing. Like, I think that it's definitely in whatever context the training comes in, because I feel like incredible training happens like at your local studio, happens at the university, happens at drama school, happens at conservatory, it happens everywhere. And I think that there's no, but it's the fact that there is a practice. It becomes a part of pursuing this field that I think is oftentimes like, oh yeah, I gotta invest in it too, like with myself.
Yeah. You have to. I mean, you wouldn't open up a restaurant and not invest any money on advertising. Nobody's going to fucking show up to your restaurant. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's like not investing in cookware. It's like, yeah, we'll just get the stuff that they have at IKEA, I guess,
Could we get a couple place settings? Sorry, what? So it's like, classes, acting classes, improv classes, and read that site, and then you'll figure it out. You know what I mean? To me, that's the simple ass answer right there.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like that's like kind of a lovely little,
I think that's good.
Wrap up button. A little, I don't know. This is whatever this gesture is.
Yeah,
it's a little,
I feel it.
Shoot. We gather and we end. Yeah.
And off.
Anything you want to
what do you, Greg, first of all, we have please go follow and subscribe for Mr. Greg, because he's incredible. He plays music, he does the games, he does the voices, he tell the funny, he make the thing. Go to if you haven't already, please do. We're here all the time.
Y'all are the best. Thank you for having me. It's so fun just to fucking hang and chat with you guys.
Yeah, dude, this
Super
is
cool.
This is so great.
I'm gonna be streaming your game, the first one, Judgment.
Dude, I'm gonna crash
week.
your ass all the time. Yeah. Fucking great. So excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
I'm looking.
And then now we gotta do some behind the scenes legends coordinating.
Right.
We'll have to. We'll make that happen.
I'm down.
Yeah.
What do you have anything that you can talk? Any exciting projects that are coming up that you can talk about that you would like to give a shout out?
I'm writing music for a commercial for a popular chicken brand.
Delicious. Chimpkins.
No, I don't think there's anything really I can talk about at the moment.
Okay.
NDA. Coming up in a few NDAs, there'll be an amazing NDA.
Can you give us a wink thinking about that project?
Yeah, just a little.
I just want to see it in your face.
No, okay.
Embody it in a wink.
In a wink.
Okay.
Go.
Oh.
I just see.
Well, I don't know what that means. I hope that doesn't get you in trouble.
That was quite a wink.
Somebody's watching.
Everyone's like, "Oh, we got he breached the NDA."
Yeah, you signed the NDA.
Hey, you said no
Taking you
winking.
down.
No
I saw that wink.
winking. It's
I saw that
written in
wink. You think
bold.
people don't know what you're talking about with that fucking wink, man? You're fucking out, man. You'll never get the fucking down again.
You did it on the internet. It's forever on the internet.
That's how good of an actor you are. It's like, give it away. Give it away with that one wink.
That's right. All right, y'all.
There you go.
So cool. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so
having
much
me.
for having
Thank you so
us.
much, and thank
Appreciate
you
it so
for-
much.
Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for your questions.
My
Thank you so
chat.
much for your subs and your follows and your bits. You guys are all fantastic and amazing. I appreciate you all so much. Have a dandy rest of your time zones wherever you all are, and we will catch you all next week or over the weekend. Is anyone? Are you streaming? No. All right, next week. Then it's happening next week. All right, we'll see everyone next week. Thank you all so much. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.